Welcome to Secura Law Experience. I'm Luis Elizalde, founder of Secura Law, and I'm here with
Stephanie de la Millar.
And Eduardo Beauregard.
Hey, we have a new episode, new season, and new studios. So
A new guest.
a new guest? No, it's not a guest. Welcome back, Steph.
I feel like one.
No? Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for coming back.
Yes.
To life, to real life.
Yeah. So in this new season, like always, I think it's good to do a new episode about the closing process, just to a little refresh, you know?
Yes.
It's good to know. And the last one that we have, it was only Eduardo and me, so the three of us is perfect to have it. So I think it's something good to do right now in this episode.
3 different visions, 3
Yeah.
different experiences. Yeah, good.
Definitely.
So, as you know, the first step or the most important after you sign the offer, you already gave the earnest money. We need to do the due diligence. The due diligence is the one of the most important for us, and someone is going to explain that.
That it's not me.
Exactly.
I'll jump the gun.
Okay.
I'll do it. Actually, I was having a conversation with one of the brokers we work with about this step. I'm gonna give a little bit of a background so you understand when I explain the actual due diligence, and you'll see why it's important. In this particular case, the buyer is trying to buy the property with his IRA,
Okay.
right? Which is not that common, but happens, right? So he needs to find a way for the IRA to send him the money he has so he can invest in the property. So the broker called me, hey, can you help us understand or navigate this situation for the buyer? We haven't drafted the offer yet, but we would like some insight or any tips that you may have. And I told them that the offer should be as it is, normal. The only thing that I would add is a little bit extra time for the validity of the offer. Because I told them that when we start doing the due diligence, the IRA will request some documentation about the property and the investment so they can start their own process to release that money to the buyer. Obviously, the buyer, if I'm not mistaken, has to create an LLC or a company there, because the money cannot go directly to him.
Exactly.
So that's why we need to start connecting the dots.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, you should at least put the double amount of time for the offer. Give them 30 days to at least start moving things. And also, give us time to review all for the property. Maybe we find something wrong with the property and it's not worth the risk for the investment. Or maybe we find that there's nothing wrong, but there's an issue with the IRA, and they take a little bit more time to finalize their process and release that fund, right? So that's why it's very important, and for us is the way that we plan ahead for the actual closing, because at the due diligence we're going to check if there's any liens, if there's any encumbrances, if the property is rented, if someone's there, if there's any debt towards the municipality, towards the water service, towards the HOA, all of that's where we find out.
What do you think is the most important authority in the due diligence?
The public registry.
Why?
Down here, that's the authority given. They have the authority given by the government to keep all the records for all the properties in each city, if you would like to call it that. So whenever you want to invest in a property, you have to go to the specific public registry of that place, so you can find out the latest news about the property, in the sense that who's the owner, when he signed the title, for how much he purchased the property, until you find who was the first owner. You have all that history there.
That's the reason the reason the importance of the public registry.
Exactly.
So let's say that the due diligence, the most important at the beginning, is gonna be the public registry. Of course, if the property already have a trust or fideicomiso, if the property tax has some debts, the other thing. But the most important is to be sure that the selling person or company is the one that is recorded in the public register.
Yeah, and basically the due diligence basically is the foundation of a real estate transaction.
Totally.
If you don't have a good foundation, we could have the best contract or whatever. If it's not solid because we missed something or we didn't check something at the due diligence, the building is gonna fall apart.
Totally agree. That's the reason of the important due diligence. Take the time for that, because sometimes, I'm not gonna say all the brokers, but some also attorneys and every person related to the real estate transaction, they are in a hurry always.
Yeah.
But in this kind of things, maybe we can put a little pressure in the promissory contract to create a promissory contract. That is the second step. But in the first step, due diligence, I think that we have to take the time to do it correctly. Not just, yes, everything good. No, it's do it correctly. It's the most important. As you said, it's the foundation. So,
Yes, and I think what it makes us different than any other law firm is that we, as Eduardo said, plan ahead. We just don't do the due diligence to make sure that everything is okay. It helps us to know the approximated time frame that it will take us to do some kind of things. For example, to cancel a lien that is in the property, to arrange the IRA specific requirements. All of that it's different in every real estate transaction. It will be there also in the due diligence as our action plan. What we will do and what are the steps in that specific real estate transaction that it will take us to get the closing date.
Yeah, I mean, every closing has its own timing. And something that you get out of experience is that there's nothing wrong with taking more time than what people expect. The important part is to be clear from the beginning. In this case, I told the broker, look, let's give the offer 30 days. And then for the closing, let's give it 90 days. And then another extra 30 days just in case. Because we don't know what might happen if the IRA will request a certified letter by the owner or by the trust, or the trust may ask. Remember, once they asked us the contract for the IRA with the client. And that's something that we have to catch as they go, and then we need to start solving. So that takes a couple of days or weeks at least.
And the money laundry law, that they don't understand exactly how that works.
Yeah.
And we have to explain everything, that everything is recorded with paper trail. But sometimes it's kind of hard to explain that to the developers.
Yeah.
And worse, when they have clients or they have attorneys and attorneys that they are not from here and they are not familiar with this kind of transaction. Oh my God. So
yeah,
that will take time.
And with this situation, this broker said, what, 30, 90, 120, what,
Plus.
four months you are going to take to do this? And I told her, wait, I mean, it's not as easy as it looks. Would you rather me saying 30 days and then going back to the 5 months, and you guys are going to be angry because I'm taking 4 more months? So very clear from the beginning. It's not wrong to take more time. I mean, things take time to get done correctly.
Exactly.
Like a famous phrase, Mexican phrase, you're not buying chiclets, gums.
Yeah, you're not buying gums.
That's the thing. You are investing your IRA, you are putting a lot of money, your savings. So it's gonna take 6 months. Okay, let's take 6 months. It's your money.
Yes, but let's do it properly.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt. I say this because it's very important, because once we jump into the next step, which is a promissory contract, now we have a binding document with penalties for both parties. So it's very important for the buyer to understand we need to secure from the beginning that you're going to get the money from the IRA. Because if we jump ahead into a promissory contract, and then for some reason the IRS says, no, I'm not releasing the funds, you're going to be stuck in a contract that you're not going to be able to comply with, and then you're going to get penalized very, very bad.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So it's important to take every step.
And explain everything.
Yeah.
You know. So in
Slowly.
the second step, it will be the promissory contract.
Mhm.
As you said,
Yes.
Steph.
I always have the promissory contract for some
Really?
reason. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It
now.
likes you.
We have some connection.
Yeah.
Yes, as Eduardo said, that is the binding document, actually, because sometimes I think it gets a little bit confusing between the offer and the contract. And I mean, the offer, it states maybe that you have a commitment with the seller within 15 days to complete due diligence and promissory contract. What will happen if that doesn't happen? The deal it's not going through, and maybe you have to restart the entire process again from the beginning, from agreeing the purchase price. But when you already signed the promissory contract, that means that you and the seller are already committed to be able to close. The seller has to provide all the documents that it are needed to convey the property, and you have to be ready with the funds available to be able to pay the purchase price as agreed.
Sorry to interrupt, but something that is very important between the second step and the fourth step, that is the notary public and the closing, as you said, the certificates or all the pre-closing document that the seller has to provide. Right now, with the municipality, it's a nightmare to get it. You know, it's not that easy that used to be.
Right now?
Yeah. No, exactly. But it's the refresh of this closing process, just to everybody understand, because you think, okay, you need like 6 to 7 pre-closing documents. Okay, I can get it in 15 days. Yeah, in 1 week. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Never. Now it's taking around 1 month. That is the 30 days. So, meanwhile, we are working on that. We still need to finish the second step, you know, the third step, and then the title. So, just to consider that timing, you know.
Yes.
Sorry.
Planning ahead.
Exactly.
The same point. I mean, it's an investment, so I think the buyer and the seller are familiar to if they have invested in the past or they are coming to invest, they know that they have to plan ahead. I'm pretty sure that no one said someday, I'm going to invest in La Riviera Maya. Let's do it, no? You obviously have been thinking about it, and you see properties and you get some information from the internet, from the real estate agent before you even put an offer. So why you should rush the things when you are getting serious and when you are already creating legal documents that commit yourself to comply with certain obligations? If you took some time to think about if you want to invest or not. So that is why we think that if someone is trying to rush you like insanely, maybe that is a red flag.
That's for experience. It's not like we are saying that because it's an experience that we already have with other clients. That if the broker, the seller, if someone is doing like a really big pressure on you to trying to sign document to get the money, something is tricky there. You know, hey, because the purchase price is gonna change or everything. By law, they cannot do it. If they offered you at some point that price, they cannot change it. So it's not like that cannot be a idea or
A bargaining chip.
yeah, exactly. So consider that. It's just
Yes.
something that you have to consider.
And that is also important when you are putting your offer that it's connected to the promissory contract. They have to set your real estate agent and yourself a realistic time frame to get the promissory contract signed. Sometimes they say 5 days. That it's not realistic. maybe.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
We will need at least 15 days. So we can prepare the due diligence and also prepare the promissory contract with enough time so we can create a quality document for you. I know that everyone is in a rush. Nowadays, everything happens really quick. But again, a real estate investment it's not just a simple shopping. It's
Buying
really-
gums.
So it requires that you read the contract, even though you trust in your lawyer and say, okay, if my lawyer prepared this document for me, it means that everything is correct. No. Once that you get the first draft, you have to go through the contract. I will suggest that maybe you schedule a phone call with your lawyer so
Good.
they can explain you the full content of the contract and because we have some, it's really simple, but we have some clauses that will not be very familiar with a foreign legal system like in US or Canada because we have a total different legal system.
Exactly.
So you will see some clauses that it will be kind of confusing for you, and I have seen that, and it's not nothing against them, is because they are not lawyers. Some of the real estate agents are also very confused about some content. For example, the eviction clause, that it means that if the seller is
Obligated.
to respond in case that it comes another person that says that has a better right regarding the ownership of the real estate. And most of the times I see that the real estate agents interpret that clause saying, yes, you have guarantee from the seller. If something happens to the unit, they have they have a liability regarding any kind of damage of the property.
yeah, right.
When
Mhm.
it's a resale. If it's a brand new property, yes, because the developer has the obligation by law. But when it's a person, whether it's a company or it's an individual, and they are reselling the property, they don't have that obligation. They don't have to be liable for any kind of damages regarding the unit. That simple things that maybe you take from grounded, from what you heard from the real estate agent, it will be needed and a lawyer can explain you.
Totally agree.
No.
Yeah, I know it's crazy sometimes. It's not bad that and now with the license that the real estate agent need to get, with all the training that they have and all the reading that they need to have and everything, of courses that they got. They feel that they know everything, and it's okay. They have now a little more experience and they are more professional in that kind of things. But still, at the end, they are real estate agents. I'm not saying that it's that bad. On contrary, they are really good. But the thing is that at the end, legal stuff go to attorneys. You know,
I mean, look,
it's
the
easy.
certified comes with a new law that regulates them, which is the state law for realtors or people related to the real estate business. And that law specifically gives them several obligations. And one of those obligations is they cannot interrupt the communication or the clients working with other professionals specialized in their own fields. That being said, that means that the broker cannot tell the client, don't go to a lawyer or don't go to an accountant.
No.
Or don't go to. They need to step aside from the communication, or the client wanting to have a legal opinion or a professional's opinion in their respective fields.
In fact, the law established that they have the obligation to
Tell them.
and to get the support of any other person related to a real estate transaction. Could be notary public, could be attorneys,
Lawyers,
could be architects.
Appraisal,
cor-
an appraiser.
I'm pretty sure they need it. Is the fact, or as you said, this new law established that they have to do it. It's not like just get away, or they have to establish to the client, hey, I know this thing, but it's better if you go with
Yeah,
this.
and if you find a broker that tells you to not go with, that's a red flag also, right?
Totally.
Always.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was in the promissory contract.
Yes, basically the promissory contract, the purchase price, the payment schedule, and as Eduardo said, the penalties. That is very important. That's why we have to plan ahead, so you don't have to be in the position that maybe you have to pay the penalty. The only thing is that your financing go wrong, your personal finance, and decide to no go through. Only in that case that, or for personal reasons, you decide to no go through. But in other cases, we avoid you to be in that position of maybe having to pay the penalty because you didn't plan ahead as it corresponds. And basically, a very important thing that we also do kind of different is that we try to do everything digitally, because we know that sometimes it's complicated for you to go back and forth with paper, with documents, printing everything. It's the past right now.
The old school.
The future is the
Now.
Digital.
the digital tools that we have, all the technology that we have. So we try to keep everything electronically and digitally, so you can have it available every time that you need it, but also really easy to be executed and with the legal safety that you require, because we have we have had this conversation many times between the three of us. Currently, it's easier to make a physical signature fake than a digital
Electronic.
one.
Yeah.
I will.
You're not buying gums.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, but I will say that this is a very important topic, and I think that we can have a second part of the closing process, because this is very important that we can establish, because already happened with another client that, you know, exactly the old school that, hey, you need the contract signed by hand and everything. It's really old school. It's something that not makes sense right now
Anymore.
Anymore.
With all the tools we have.
Exactly. And it's really hard with an electronic signature, that, or digital signature, whatever you want to say, is that you have all the information in the signature, where you sign, which which PC or which cellular device you use. So it's almost impossible to say, no, I didn't do that. You know, it's with all the things that we have right now, there is no way that you can say, no, I didn't sign it, or I never review it, or I never get it. You know, it's so safe, so secure, and as Stephanie said, is better, because if you sign by paper or by hand, you can say it's not my signature. And that used to be the old ways to do it. And when someone tried to do something bad, is the normal way to do it. Yeah, I will sign, that's it, whatever. And they don't care. Or that you have to compare your signature with the passport, and you doing something bad, in bad faith, you sign different. Hey, you sign it, yeah, but in my passport it's different signature. In my INE or my official ID, it's different signature. So I didn't sign that, you know. But
see how I signed. Obviously, I was obligated to do it. I have seen that argument also, that it's not possible to say when you are signing electronically.
exactly.
So
So
come with us.
yeah, no,
We
and
will
the
be
technology
taking
that
care of it.
we have to use it. We are on that side. We cannot be old.
Yes.
Always, it's not bad, but if we have a better way to do it, and it's gonna be a better way to do business, to get investments, to be secure with all that kind of things, I think use the technology, don't go the old ways. And the experience that we were saying, the client, they signed two contracts, digital, electronic signature, and the developer send, why I don't know, the developer send the physical, the hard copy directly to the house, and suddenly the client say, no, I don't want to sign it. I only want one unit, for example. And they say, okay, no problem. Just sign one and send it back. But I think right now they are in good faith. Let's
Yeah.
say that. But in some point, if the developer want to say, no, sorry, you already signed, or he's looking to do something against the buyer, hey, sorry, you already signed the digital, so you need to pay us penalties. You know, no, that doesn't mean.
That doesn't make sense why the hard copy should have been sent, because there's already a binding contract signed digitally, and it's very valid that they are using it as a tool to make the client pay more because
Exactly.
they already have a signed agreement that they can execute.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
So that's important. Don't I don't know. It's something that I already years and years have problems with all attorneys or all
Yes.
attorneys that they are.
They didn't want to embrace the new trend.
Mm-hmm.
But I think currently the technology is
Catching up, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not because that they don't want, or if I saw or we saw if we see something that okay, this is a technology, but not make sense because there is no safe things for the clients. Of course, we are not gonna use it. Like the title, we are not gonna sign a title right now
Digitally.
digitally. One, because it's not in the law, and you need
Yet.
exactly to sign it in person or through a power attorney. But promissory contracts or any other kind of document that are still the banks, or also the banks accept digital. So all business like Telmex or Telcel, yeah, they use all electronic contracts. You know, so if everybody is using it
yes, and it's safe.
and it's safe,
It's safe, and actually it's more safe for you. Why?
insurance company, they are taking you a video when you are signing the contract in your cell phone. It's crazy, but it's valid. So that means that all electronic signature is valid, and not because one guy say, okay, now we're gonna use it. No, it's totally valid, and it's in the law that you can use it.
Yes.
So
Yes. Actually, Canada and the US are already providing notary services online
exactly.
that they can record entire meeting, a virtual meeting, so you can see where you are granting whatever you are executing with them, and it's totally safe. It's totally legal. So we are a little bit behind, but here in the office we try to catch up with them.
A little, but not that much. You know,
Yeah.
I have a surprise with a notary public that we were requesting like something similar.
Here?
Yeah, in Mexico.
No,
Here
but I mean,
yeah,
here in Quintana Roo?
yeah.
Okay.
And he said, okay, the law established that everything that I see, I have to give faith of that. Okay, let's go to the website. We go to the computer, to the website, and in the website, everything that we were looking, he saw it, and he said, okay, I'm gonna establish what I see in the PC or in this computer with this number on this date on this time. I saw in this website with this. You know, he established everything, and I put all the photos. I don't know how to say in prem pant when you
The
when-
screenshots of
the screenshots of the website and everything, and they put it in fe de hechos. How do you say that in English? Like
Would be
affidavit could be.
Yeah, affidavit.
Could be an affidavit from the notary public. And I said, okay. And he said, the law is very clear that I can give faith on for everything that I see. And I'm seeing this.
Yes,
And
here
I
is
say,
it.
okay, that's good. It's a good criteria. And that kind of attorneys or notary public is something that is using the technology and the law on behalf to do a good process. So I don't know how to say it, but
Yeah.
it's something really, really good. Yeah, I was
like
surprised,
it.
and yeah, me too. It was a surprise.
Congrats to that notary. Good.
So, as I said, we have to use the technology. That's the most important from my point of view. We are heading that, and that's gonna help us. Of course, we have to take time on everything, but with the technology, that time could be efficient, right?
At the end of the day, technology wants to do that, make
Yeah.
things more efficient and faster and better.
Better.
So slowly but surely, we'll get there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, as our office, we are going through.
I think the time run really fast.
Really quick.
I feel a lot of space also.
Yeah.
It was good, right?
Yes. Maybe that's why we spoke more, no?
Yeah,
It's a change for the better.
Yeah, I feel good. If you like it, let us know. Exactly. Thank you so much, guy.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.